guys, it's Jonathan here from Set Sail, and as some of you may know, one of the main aims of Set Sail is to equip, encourage and inspire artists and creators. Now, I'm often having conversations with artists who create amazing things that people aren't really seeing and hearing, and I'm often telling them, you really need to get this stuff out there. Like, there's people that would really enjoy this stuff that you're making. One of the most common things I hear is, oh, I'm not very good at social media, or I really don't like self-promotion. But the thing is, if you've put a lot of time and effort into creating something and working on something, then it's worth putting a bit of time into actually letting people know that it's available so that they can enjoy it too and feel a part of it. So I think there are healthy ways to post about things that you create on social media, and today I'm going to share 5 do's and don'ts of sharing things that you've made on social media.
Yeah, you know better than I know myself.
So number 1, don't convince people to support your work, but do make it available. So we've all seen those people on social media that are constantly posting about their things and saying, buy this, download this, and it can be pretty irritating, and nobody wants to be that guy. For me, the big difference comes in how you communicate it. Nobody minds if you're just letting them know it's available, but no one wants to hear you convince them of why they should buy your thing. So for example, with our band, when we release an album or a new video, what we like to do is post about it in a way that says, hey guys, we've just put a new album out, here's where it's available, here's where you can buy it, I hope you guys enjoy it. There's no sales pitch, there's no convincing people why they should get this and not another one. It's just literally saying, hey, I've made a thing, here it is. Number 2, don't spam people, but do be strategic. Now, people will get annoyed if you're constantly posting about the same thing over and over again, and they might even unfollow you. You don't need to constantly post about the same thing if you can do 1 or 2 really good, well-timed posts. And to do that, you want to have a look at the analytics and the insights on all the different social media platforms. Pretty much every site now, especially if you're registered as a business, will have options available so you can look at the insights, look at your audience, and even in some cases the times that they're browsing and some of the best times to post. It is worth taking the time to understand your audience, and in our case, we're a UK band, but the majority of our listeners are in the States. And so if we post something at 8 AM in the UK, nobody in America is even awake yet, and you might think, why does that matter? Won't they just see it later on when they wake up? But actually, there is so much content that goes out on these social media platforms these days that most of them are using some form of algorithm, which is a way of showing the posts that are getting the most engagement and the ones that are having a lot of interactions, and pushing down the ones that don't seem very popular. They're not trying to do that to be mean, it is a way of creating better content for the user so that people are seeing the posts that are actually valuable posts and interesting posts. And one of the main ways that they look for that engagement is by looking at what happens on that post as soon as it's put up in the first couple of hours. Particularly on sites like YouTube, if you upload a video at a peak time when you know that your audience is awake and using the website and it gets lots of comments and engagement straight away, then YouTube will go, oh, this has been a popular video, people are engaging with this one, it must be a really good one, let's start pushing this up the algorithm and make sure it shows up on people's homepages and recommended pages. So it's worth taking the time to figure out when is the best time to post. Number 3, don't just inform people, do create a dialogue. So this one's a biggie because a lot of these social networks are starting to change the way that they promote certain content, and again, this algorithm is pushing certain kinds of things. You have to think about the websites themselves and the apps themselves. Things like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Many of these sites make a large portion of their income through advertising, and to be able to do that, the main goal of those websites is to keep people on the website for as long as possible. Facebook recently announced that they were going to try and change the way that the newsfeed works to show more content from people's actual friends and less from businesses, apart from posts that actually generate dialogue and discussion, and meaningful discussion, hopefully.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
So as an artist or a creator, one way that you could do this is to think about, how can I create a dialogue and bring people into the story of this thing that I'm creating? Rather than just saying, hey guys, I made a thing, you can actually ask people about it and say, alright, we just put this album out, which song's your favourite at the moment and why? You can even involve people in what you create. So through Set Sail, sometimes we ask people, what kind of videos would you like us to make over the coming few months? And when people suggest certain things, we'll actually take some of those ideas and make those videos, and people have played a part in shaping the content of this channel, which is really cool for them because they get to feel a part of it, really good for us because we get to hear straight from our audience what they want. And this is actually one of the biggest advantages of social media, being able to communicate directly with your audience and hear from them and get direct input. It's such a valuable thing, and it's not just a good marketing tool. When it's only a marketing thing and people are just constantly asking questions every day just to try and create this dialogue, you can kind of see through that and go, okay, this is just a marketing technique. So this isn't something to do all the time, but it is a good thing to do every now and then. Engage with your audience, create a dialogue around the things that you create. Number 4, don't post the same thing on every platform. do understand the platform that you're using. All of the social media sites, they're not the same, and it's not built around the same kind of content. And also, if you don't have time to post on everything, try and find the ones that are appropriate to the things that you create. If you're a photographer, then it's probably not worth worrying about how many followers you've got on a site like SoundCloud. So as a quick overview, Facebook works well for sharing news, video content, updates, all those kind of big announcements. It's a big site with a lot of tools, and you can be very strategic. For example, you could advertise tour dates to that exact area and make sure that you're reaching the right kind of people. We find that with Facebook, it works better to post infrequently, but make sure they're important posts that you want people to see. Instagram is more of a magazine-style social network. It's primarily visual, so imagery is very important. Try and post things which are visually interesting and eye-catching. It's also mostly entirely a mobile platform, and even though it does have a desktop website, the number of people that use it is very, very small. So think about what you're posting. Don't post screenshots of 3 paragraphs worth of text that people can't even read on their phone. Twitter is about short, regular posts, so it can be multiple posts a day. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking, massive news every time you post. You can post funny things, random thoughts in the day, different quotes, retweet videos and songs that you like. It's also a very public social network, which means it's not really the place for private conversations with your friends. Nearly everything you put out on Twitter is public, unless you've set everything to private. But it's also a very powerful tool in that way, because you can find people that are posting about your business or the things that you create. Even a link, you could create a video and see who's sharing this link, and you can engage with those people and say, hey, thanks for sharing this. So it's very public, which is something to watch out for, but also a really good tool. Number 5, don't just be a business. Do show some personality. So imagine social media as being like a social event. If you were hanging out with your friends and all you did was tell people to buy your album or go and like this new picture or video that you've done, it would get on people's nerves a little bit. But if you engage in conversations and listen to people and share some of your personality, let people get to know you, people won't mind if you want to share about something you've made every now and then. It's totally fine. Many people think about social media as just media and forget the social aspect of it. A big part of social media is creating dialogue, communicating with your audience, and showing some personality. With things like Twitter and Instagram stories, you can just post fun little things throughout the day. And that way people do actually feel more engaged with the things that you create. You can even live stream now on a lot of these platforms, which is a very direct way of actually communicating with fans and hearing direct feedback. And this may not be for everyone. Not everyone enjoys going on live streams and showing their personality all the time, but try and inject a little bit of personality into the things that you post about. Even if it's a big announcement post, you could do more than saying, I've made a thing. You could actually invite people into the story of that. Sometimes when I share about an album or something that we've created, we'll share a bit of the journey of it as well and say, 7 years ago when I was sat in my room with a piano and a laptop making these little songs, I never imagined that we'd be doing what we're doing now. And it just shares a little bit of the journey and the story, and you bring some of your personality to it, and people feel more a part of the things that you've created. So I hope you guys found that helpful as ways of posting on social media. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll try and get back to as many as I can, as well as leaving your own tips and things that have helped you in posting things on social media, any advice you might have. It'd be great to hear from you guys. So thank you for watching the video. We'll be back soon with another one. So bye.
Set sail video blog. Set sail video